Hello, I've just finished the first two chapters in part one of In the Lives of Puppets by T.L. Clune, an audiobook I am listening to at the moment, about 7% in. Seems to be a post-apocalyptic world where a clockwork man comes into a forest, and we don't realize he's clockwork at the beginning. And he builds stuff, builds himself a home, and is fine, but he is lonely, very, very lonely, until one day a man and a woman rush on the scene and say, "You have to hide it, you have to hide him, you have to hide him, they're coming to get us." And covered in the rags is a little baby boy, which he takes, and they say, like, we'll try and get back, but they never get back. And we now flash forward to the boy, who he's named Vic, who is scavenging in a giant junk heap of kind of electronics and machinery and things like that, helped by two companions. One is a hypochondriac vacuum cleaner, Rocket, and the other one is a nurse protocol thing called Nurse Ratchet. And the Ratchet is says various things, but obviously is referring to Nurse Ratchet from Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, not a reference that you think Vic would actually be able to make himself. It seems to be a long time in the future. He climbs up on the thing, but the ancient ones, which seem to be ancient robots, say, like, intruder alert, try and get him. He falls off the thing, but is able to survive the fall and get away from the robots, the ancient ones, and make it back. And there's his father, this mechanical man, whom he opens up, and it's like, there's just some loose solenoids around his heart. This is when we do find out that he is thing. And there's some talk about how, like, you've been good in the sense that I wish you wouldn't go to the scrapyard, but at least you haven't been going outside of that area because it's not safe. However, also the mechanical man, whose father is also like, I understand that you're not gonna stay here forever, because that's while you're happy now, that's it's not gonna be, it's eventually not gonna be enough. And so, yeah, that's the start of the story. It's got kind of a bit of a fable-like thing to it, which can be, it can be simple, but it can be kind of faux simpleness. We'll see how it goes on that. It's kind of cutesy in the sense of, like, okay, well, it's sort of science fiction, but it's more fantasy, that you'd be able to make, like, a sentient vacuum cleaner that's a hypochondriac, and a sentient Nurse Ratchet who's slightly psychopathic and just wants to drill and dissect and perform autopsies on people, but is still kind of lovably lovable. And he indeed does enjoy their company. They're his friends. So, yes, it's slightly on the cutesy side. I guess we'll see how it goes. It's definitely a step down from Notes from a Regicide. That's a freaking high level. And I mean, I was holding on by my fingernails, listening to trying to keep track of all that, and probably, missed a heck of a lot that I would have. Well, I don't know if I would have picked it up when I was reading, but but this is light, and I'm gonna just let the lightness wash over me, and we'll see how that goes. All right, I will check in again at some other point, and also find out what the name of the father is, since I will have to note all this stuff down to put it in my book journal. All right, more videos later.